Today I'm going to be showing you the strategy that I used to trade. This strategy has been cooking up since I started trading. This has been perfected in a way that it suits me perfectly and it helps me to overcome psychology. It pretty much passes every test, and the key thing is that I've now found a balance between win rate and RR. So literally both boxes are ticked, so I don't have to sacrifice win rate or have to sacrifice risk and reward. So this is the strategy I'm going to be showing you today. Primarily trade supply and demand, but in my own way that works for me literally every single month. And now that I've been trading this, I'm literally rarely going to have a losing month. Every month is going to be a winner, and I'm going to reveal exactly how I do it. Now, the first thing to note is that I trade using methodical directives. And what do I mean by this? This is simply the idea that I have eliminated every thought process that goes into my trading. So I have an equation where it's like, if this happens, this is what I do. If this is the trade I see, this is where my RR is going to be. So everything is pretty much computed and it's all driven by data. So how does this help me? This means that when I am trading, even if I'm having a bad day, it doesn't really affect my trading too much because I don't have to decide or use decisions to really do much. Everything is literally A equals B, B equals C sort of thing. So this has been perfect. This is what I usually recommend for most people. In fact, if you can, obviously not all strategy works like this, but for me, this is how I prefer it. So everything is literally set and good to go. As long as you follow it, you will pretty much do well. So all that is left to you is just to perform every single day and make sure that you're following it. If you don't follow it, then you know exactly why you had like a bad day or bad week, unless you're just one of those that just happens to be. But in most cases though, you will do, and I'm going to show you guys the results literally shortly. Now, another thing that I do in my trading is that I trade literally one pair, I trade one time frame, I trade one session, and in fact I also trade on the 1 minute. That just happens to be, I didn't actually try to make it that way, but the 1 minute just seems to be the best time frame for me. Now I trade gold. My two favorite pair is gold and GU, but I'm only trading gold as of now. When I need to trade GU, maybe I will, but gold has been the sweet spot. And the primary reason to why I trade gold and not GU is simply because of commissions. I left GU because commissions were getting a bit ridiculous, right? But with gold, it's literally a cheat code where you're still making more money. You're making your money even quicker because gold has a lot more like volatility, and there's literally barely any commission. So it's literally GU, but 10 times better really. And the other reason for just trading one pair, one session and everything else is just because I'm trading on the 1 minute. So I'm going to find setups 99% of the time. And literally most sessions I will find about 2 setups. I'll rarely not find a setup, so I don't need to trade multiple pairs. Secondly, I rarely miss a setup because I'm on one pair, so I'm able to just focus on the charts, and every setup I see, I don't miss it, I will take it. And this just prevents me from over trading as well, because in one session I'll probably get maybe 2 setups. Most of the time I don't even take 2 anymore. I usually take about 1 setup per day and I'm good. I only take 2 when necessary. This now means that I don't have to over trade anymore. The reason why most of you over trade or revenge trade is because when you take one setup and you're trading 20 pairs, you will see another setup in the next second on another pair, and you're going to take that one and take the next one and the next one. So this just means you end up taking a bunch of trades in a day. I do not have to do that because when I lose, and let's say I'm frustrated for whatever reason, then it's like, okay, where's the next setup? I can't find it. So it's going to help me to naturally calm down because I'm having to pass time. So that's a cheat code. That's something I recommend for most people if you want to overcome the over trading issue, right? Just trade one pair. But all right, let me show you exactly what I do day in and day out. All right, so this is one trade I took literally today, so I can literally show you the trades I've been taking. So this was a trade I took today. I came on the chart at exactly 8 a.m. in the morning, and I was watching exactly what's happening because I trade one pair. I'm barely gonna miss any setup. So I had a setup like this. As you can see, my TP is looking a bit ridiculous, but this was what I saw, right? This was London session. That is what I trade. And once price tapped into my zone like this, in this case now I went for a 1 to 3, right? But I have 2 TPs actually. I have 2 TPs. So this will be my second TP. Let's just drag this on. Second TP would be right here, and my first TP is always 1 to 1. Now the reason is just to make sure that I am not losing money. This ultimately, it becomes a thing where trading becomes a psychological thing. After a while, once you've got your strategy plan and everything else and you know it works, it's all psychology. So for me, I need to lose as little as possible just because it just helps me to know that I'm making money every day. Once you start to have a big account, even something like a 1 to 1 or even partial is enough money, right? With like a 200k account, for example, if I'm taking, 0.25% as like partials, that is a significant amount of money. Do you get what I mean? So it's like If I do that twice, that's like $500 or 1K. So in this case now, let's just say with a 100K account, because that's like the base that everyone knows, and I'm going for, let's say, a 1 to 3. But before I got there now, at 1 to 1, which would be 1K, I only take 0.25. That's $250, right? That is more money than most average people are making regardless. So we don't need to be ourselves so much about thinking, okay, we need to make 1 to 1 or whatever happens, you know, you take the loss. Not necessarily. Now I've kind of formulated everything to where when we get to my 1 to 1, I am taking out partials. Now in this trade live, I had a very late entry, but it still worked out anyway, right? I still stayed disciplined. I didn't hold longer than I should. I just did what I needed to do to secure the bag anyway. So this would be my first TP. At this point, you know, we take our cheeky little 1 to 1, and we take, at this point, we take our partials, and for the next one, I'm just looking for my 1 to 3. So that's pretty much what we did, and trade played out very, very clean. 1 to 3, nice and done. This is just setup number 1. It is very, very, very simple. I don't have to analyze anything. I don't have to. I literally came on a chart at 8, right? At 8, and literally we found a setup at, you know, 14 minutes later, I was in and I was out of this trade by 8:19. This trade took 5 minutes, right? That was me done. You know, this would be a 3R trade. This would have been 3K, but I had a late entry, so I didn't make that much. But on a normal day, this would have been 3 bags in 15 minutes of me trading. So literally 8, or let's say, what's that, 19 minutes, right? From 8 to 8:19, I would have been done and dusted. So this is just example number 1. I'll show you guys another example. Okay, now this is trade number 2. This is still the same day. This is literally today, 3rd of June. We found a second setup. I didn't take this, but this is just for those. If you're trading later on in London, there's probably a few trades in New York as well, but I'll just show you the second one that I came across. Same thing, price tapped into the demand zone in this case. Obviously, for those who don't know what supply and demand is, I probably should have said this earlier, but this is just when you have aggressive buys and aggressive sells. In this case, we had a big push to the upside. The setup was there was valid. We had a fair value gap present as well. We had a break of structure present as well. We can see that overall they are low-key pushing up, and this is on the 1 minute. So we're just looking to be in and out really, really quick to catch every move that we can and be in and out of it. So at this point, I played it safe, took my safe. You would have taken a safe entry. I didn't take this trade, and you're looking for 1 to 3 because everything is so methodical. I don't need to really decide where I'm gonna leave too much or wherever it is. I know that based on my results, most of the time, most trades will get to 1 to 3. So that's like the optimal. You know, I went for a stage where initially I used to take 1 to 2, but now I take 1 to 3s because I noticed based on the numbers, we get 1 to 3 still quite often. So eventually I might even check 1 to 4s. If we get 1 to 4s at a decent rate to where it doesn't affect the win rate too much, then I'll start taking 1 to 4s. That's how I develop the strategy to make sure that I'm making as much money as possible without sacrificing win rate too much. So in this case, price would have given us our entry, played around a little bit. You would have taken your 1 to 1 right here. So just waiting for that 1 to 1. In this case, as soon as we hit 1 to 1, we take our partials, boom, and then second TP would have been a 1 to 3. Okay, 1 to 3. Stop loss would have been around down here. Now, when you're looking at this, before the trade happens, you'll be thinking this is wild, right? You don't think it's gonna go that high, but boom, you'd have hit your 1 to 3 super, super quick. 1 to 3 in this case. So this have been 2 trades, you know, today. If you want to take that, there was another setup right here. You'd have gone out 1 to 1, then eventually break even. Nice and easy. Every time I take 1 to 1, by the way, I put my stop loss at break even. That's what I mean by playing it super, super safe. So that would have been the case with that one. And then I'm going to show you another setup as well that worked out beautifully. Now this is again another setup right here. Pretty much all looks identical. That's another thing. Every setup should look almost the same, that you can't even tell the difference. That's how you know you're doing the right thing. This is another setup that I took live. I actually took this trade live. If you want to see all my live trades, by the way, it's on Instagram. Follow me on Instagram at Sully's Advice. I post my live trades every single day, wins and losses as well. So if you want to see those, just check out my IG at Sully's Advice. But this is another trade that we took. Price tapped into the zone. We're looking for supply in this case. Boom, we got a huge push immediately. You'd have grabbed your 1 to 1 like this. That's how quick you can make money in the markets. Like this would have been $250 on a 100K account in literally 30 seconds, right? 30 seconds, you're in and out of that. If you really wanted to take 4 partials, then you could have left with the whole bag, but I prefer to take more. So in this case, price didn't go back to stop us at our break even. So this would have been a straight 1 to 3. And that would have been it. In this case, you could have even grabbed a 1 to 4 or even more, but that's, you know, super, super clean. That's one setup that I took on this day. This trade, you can see we got 1-to-1 and then price came back to stop us out. I'm just going to show you guys even more examples. Now this is another setup. This is literally the day before that. Now on the 28th of May, I took this setup as well, I believe. Yep, I did, and I posted this live on my Instagram. This was crazy, huge push in literally a matter of seconds. We don't need to get stopped at break even in this case. Took our 1-to-1 partials. And for this trade, actually, we left at 1-to-4. So sometimes I might leave at 1-to-4, sometimes I might leave at 1-to-3. It varies, depending on certain factors. But in this case, 1-to-4 is what I was looking for. Price kind of played around in this part, but again, I would have moved my stop loss to break even right here. If they stopped me out, that's fine, but they didn't. So we grabbed our 1-to-4 nice and easy, and that was basically history. So this was a very, very clean trade. My trades happen super fast, which is what I just like. This trade I would have been in and out in literally about 5 to 10 minutes. So these are just a few trades I took live, and I'm even going to show you even more results now to show you exactly why I'm super confident when I trade, why I don't bother like being afraid, because most cases every month that trade is going to be profitable. So I'm just going to show you guys the data to prove that. So this is data that backs up everything that I do. I trade under 1 minute, so I can only go so far back without spending crazy amount of money backtesting, but these are my results from, you know, several months. So literally from December 2023 all the way till May, right? These are the results that I have. How I see it is that your backtesting results, if it gives you these results, when you're trading live, you might get slightly less because let's say spread sometimes, or you get like a late entry. So expect maybe 2 to 3% deviation, something like that sometimes. So even with that, right, even with that being considered, every single month is still profitable regardless. This is literally one of my best months, right? December 2023, 94% win rate, 28% return, so that'll be 28 bags that month. And you can literally see every single trade right here following my strategy to the T, the exact same way I've traded, like I just showed you guys. This will be the results following it to the T, right? This is me even kind of being sometimes conservative, right? And every trade right here is super strict. Like if there's a loss, there's a loss. You can see some losses are slightly smaller, but the aim here is to keep losses small and let the wins just come when they want to you. So you can see consecutive win days as well. The one thing I want to avoid in most cases is several losing days. Obviously, there's only so much you can do. So as long as you perform perfectly and let the wins come, you're good. But you don't really want several losing days because that's when it affects your psychology too much. So if I was trading literally December right now, you can see Friday was good, Monday was good, that's already 5%. Tuesday was a green day, small green, but still a window if you think about it, right? Small, but still a win. Tuesday was good, Wednesday, Thursday. Like this is like a crazy win streak. We took a 1% loss right here and then we continued the wins again, right? You can see, let's look at Jan for example. Jan 2024 London session, you know, similar results here as well. 1, 2, 3, 4 losses, and the rest of the days are probably going to be wins. And in most cases I do find trades every single day, even though I'm trading one pair and one session. You can see the 3rd, the 4th, the next week after that, the 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th. Every single day there are setups, right? So you don't need to be worried about what I don't need to be worried about. Am I going to find setups or those droughts that come? I like trading every day, so my strategy works that way. So I'm not feeling some kind of FOMO, taking setups that don't look right, because I know in most cases I'm going to find setups. So this is literally how I trade. The data backs it up, you know. December, boom. January, I think April was the worst month. I would say horrible anyway, but still a 7.5 return. 63% win rate, which is not too bad at all. May was also kind of meaty compared to the rest, but again, still green months. So this is literally how I trade. If you do want to trade with me for 7 days completely for free, right, I'll leave a link down in the description below. You can click on that link and join me in Sully's Academy. Trade with me literally for free for 7 days, and then you can choose to leave or you can choose to stick around if you want to. Thank you guys for watching this video. Be sure to subscribe if you found any value, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.